back to Bourbon Barrel Talk. I'm your host, Scott Minton. Today we are sitting with the Carter family, Miss Mark and Sherri Carter. How are we doing today, you guys?
Hey, we're doing great.
Excellent.
Thanks for having us back out again. With us, we have Miss Jess Ann. She joined the panel again today.
Hello.
And Mr. Matt, he's over in the corner.
Yes, I am. Thank you for that.
Nobody puts baby in the corner, right?
Except for you.
You know, I do my best.
I can move. You guys need me to move so you can sit by each other.
No.
I will.
There's no love lost between me and Matt.
I see him all the time.
So, hey, we sat down, I guess, probably, what was it, maybe February-ish, maybe January-ish? I can't remember. Sherri spitting. I don't know why you're spitting. Spitters for quitters, Sherri.
Spitters for tasters, Scott.
I was about to be inappropriate, but I saw it already flash over your eyes, and he said,
I'm very proud of her. You know, she is pacing herself. A true professional.
That's good.
That's right.
So, since our last episode, if y'all don't mind, just kind of tell us what's up with Old Carter. How's things going?
You want to start off, honey?
Sure. So we're very excited. Thank you also for having us back. We appreciate you. And we've just been busy here in Kentucky since March 7th, I think.
Yes.
do you have like a thing on your wall where you're counting down the days now that you've been stuck in Kentucky?
No, we've actually made the most of this time here. It's been actually excellent.
It's been perfect actually for us.
So we came out to do the spring blends, and then it just rolled right into the fall blends. And so there was no reason to go home in the middle. And we've also been working on our building downtown Louisville. So we're excited about all the progress that we've made, and we've done a lot of work.
So do you anticipate any kind of new or crazy things as far as like what's going on with the next couple of batches that you all have coming out? I know something that's been really popular lately has been like toasted finishes and a lot of, well, heck, you guys are phenomenal winemakers. Have you guys thought about doing anything on that spectrum? You know, maybe using one of your old wine barrels to do a wine barrel finish or things like that?
Well, I usually talk about this, I guess, because since I'm the kind of the winemaker and have the wine background, I'm not really big on most of wine finished bourbon. I like wine, and then I like bourbon. I kind of like to keep them separate. But, there's a lot of things we'd like to do. I love oak barrels. I like French oak, and I like American oak. So there's a lot of things we can do with those. We like, double oaking things.
We like wood.
Yeah. Good wood, good vanilla, good char.
Matt and I have lots
good
of
toast.
wood. We have lots of oak barrels.
Jess has lots of.
And we'll actually, this got, we'd love to distill our wine and make some brandies, which would be fun. So that's going to be something we're looking at this vintage actually.
That would be fun.
Mm-hmm.
So, that'd be tasty.
Yeah, and I love Armagnac and Cognac, and
we love
we do. So
Armagnac and Cognac.
Yeah. We do, don't we?
We do.
If someone could videotape everyone's facial reactions,
I think they should get a room. I'll just sit here.
So that's one of the things we like doing. We're kind of keep it pretty traditional when it comes to blending. Keep all American oak for bourbon, rye, whiskeys that we do.
Okay. So is there a particular one of those oaks that you prefer? I mean, you mentioned French and everything else there, Hungarian, I think you said even, but.
Yeah, most of, all the American spirits that we do is all still American oak.
Yeah.
And all, we will either rebarrel, and we love different chars. We even, when we distill, because we distill at a couple different friends' places that we have, we're always looking for a good place that will take us in and distill. We'll have a very small still when we open up our little place in Louisville, but it's just going to be for experimental stuff. It's not going to be a production still. We're so small, we can't see that. There's the two of us doing everything at this point. It's just better to have some friends. We make wine for a lot of people in Napa Valley, and we have a full facility to do that. And it takes a lot of people to do it, so we know how much work that is too. So we appreciate the people that distill for us and bottle for us in Kentucky.
Gotcha. So one of the big hot things now, I guess, is, and it seems like everybody's on the same kick with the single barrel product and being able to source, well, not really necessarily source single barrels, but like buy a single barrel for a group or things like that. And I know you guys make amazing batches and you guys are fantastic blenders. Do you all see at any point where you guys may actually start allowing people to buy like single barrels here and there, like clubs or things like that?
I'm going to let Sherri take this one.
Well, we would love to do that, is the answer. We're just not really ready yet to take that on as an actual program. We're really excited to let the barrels that we have here in Kentucky age and get to maturity, where we can really, put a program like that together in a responsible way that we can actually take on groups like that. Yeah.
And one of the things is we've been distilling for almost 4 years now. So it's getting close to the time we might be able to do that.
Yeah.
Maybe another 2 to 3 years.
I wouldn't want to see anything go out like under 6 years.
Yes.
Yeah. And I think that's one of the things I appreciate so much about you guys is that your attention to detail and quality is it's separated by none. I mean, you guys really put a lot of detail into what you guys do, and I think that that's great that you guys are not going to rush anything out at 4 or maybe 4.5 or 5 years just because of that. You guys done such a great job with what you've done already, so you're not going to rush it, and that's important to especially the bourbon drinkers out in the community, I think.
Thank you. That's really what we strive for, is quality.
So how do I get on this list?
No comment.
Going back to the brandy, if you're paying like close attention to detail, do you have like a label you're designing? Are you doing all the artwork? What animal are you going to put on here? Is it going to be like a brand, like a big?
We don't know yet.
Yeah, you do.
But that's a good question.
Oh.
That's a very, very good question.
What are the top 3 animals that might be on there?
Otter,
An otter.
cheetah,
Ooh, cheetah.
rhinoceros. Jokes. I tell jokes. No, it'll be a horse. Just
I
a
love
different
rhinos.
horse.
It'll be a Clydesdale
I love that. Okay.
with big feet.
Yeah.
No, you can't do that.
It'll be something.
They frown about
It'll be
that.
something.
What's the horse that's like a Clydesdale, but it's not a Clydesdale? It's got the big feet and everything else.
Well, the horse that's on our label is a workhorse. That's actually a Brabant,
Okay.
which is a French breed.
Gotcha.
Very stout.
Yeah, I'm trying
Very
to think.
sturdy.
There's something else though that's like an American breed horse that they kind of crossbred from the Clydesdale that makes. God, I wish I could think of.
Well, there's a sport horse, which is usually a cross between a lighter breed and a draft horse.
Gotcha. You know way more than me. And oddly
You've already
enough,
said 4 more horses than Scott knows.
Yeah. Yeah,
It's
I
Old
know
Carter,
thoroughbred
Brandy.
and Clydesdale.
I grew up on a horse. Don't get me talking about horses. We'll never get to the whiskey.
Exactly.
It's sitting in front of us. We'll get to
I
it
know,
eventually.
I'm thirsty.
So over the past few years,
Did you name the horse? Sorry.
Go ahead. No, you're good.
Is it
Did you
Old
name-
Carter
Did
Brandy?
you name the horse?
Which horse?
No, I want to name any of them.
That's,
that horse.
That's Heavy Horse. That's a woodcut that I
Right.
did.
What's his name?
Heavy Horse?
Heavy Horse.
Heavy
Okay.
Horse.
Okay.
Heavy
Sorry.
horse.
Heavy Horse.
Heavy horse. Thanks, Matt.
You're welcome.
You interrupted me for heavy horse.
I did.
You can edit it out. Just cut that.
Yeah.
I'm not editing it. So we talked a little bit earlier about how a few years ago sourcing was kind of one of these things that everybody had kind of frowned upon in the past, and I feel like with what you guys have done, you've done just such an amazing job with working through that process and everything else. Could you give us a little bit more perspective on what Old Carter's done to kind of change the perspective around that?
Well, I really like finding barrels, and it doesn't matter if it's from Indiana, if it's from Tennessee or Kentucky. The best thing is when you find a good barrel, you find a good source, you find a nice mash bill, and you taste it and you said, this is pretty good to begin with. And, I think we can do what we do, put our spin on it, do our blend on it. And so when you see all these guys distilling this great product in these different states, I have no problem with it. And, a couple of years ago, like you said, certain places are frowned on. Now they're like coveted. So it's just a matter of making really good spirits out of those products from those different states, I think.
And it also goes back to the fact that we wanted to, when we when we started this brand, we didn't want to start with young whiskeys. We wanted to start with something with some age on it so that we could get that flavor that we wanted. And, we weren't prepared to wait 7 years to start blending. So, what else do? You got to buy barrels, and they're expensive.
Yeah.
Right.
But that's okay.
To get good aged, spirits. And
One of the first things we bought was the 27-year.
yeah, that was fun.
So good.
So as we walk into what you're going to walking through us with, I guess, a tasting tonight, what's coming up for, I guess, what we call bourbon season? The kind of the fall releases, all the big names are going to drop, all the big things. So what do we expect to see from Old Carter?
You want to go some of that?
Sure.
Okay.
So we've got, because I take all the notes. So we've got a bourbon batch 6 coming. We've got the American whiskey batch 4. We have several single barrels coming out. Actually 21 of them.
Wow.
And also we have a brand new product, which is a Kentucky whiskey. So the Kentucky whiskey technically could have gone into our American whiskey kind of category. However, it has a very different mash bill
too,
and a very different profile, and the proof is different. And so we know that people who love the American whiskey that are out there, we were worried that they were going to buy that and say, what the heck, this is totally different from the last American whiskey that I bought. So we just decided, hey, this is Kentucky juice, so let's put Kentucky on it, and
so this
we're excited
batch
for you
1.
guys to taste that.
Yeah, batch
Ooh,
1.
Hot diggity dog. So
Kentucky whiskey.
let's roll through it then. So which one's which, Mark? And I'll let you kind of guide us through this tour, and we'll go from there.
So left to right, we start with actually a bourbon, and then we have the Tennessee whiskey, and then the American whiskey. And just a little bit about the first one we have. What's that?
We have the bourbon, then we have Kentucky whiskey,
and American whiskey.
but you said Tennessee whiskey.
Oh, so I'm sorry about that.
So bourbon,
Yeah.
Kentucky whiskey, American whiskey.
Yes.
Yeah, and so on the Tennessee bourbon, it was because that's what it says on the back. And, if you pick a bottle up, and I love this, it's a mostly 15-year-old bourbon, but there is some 13 and some 10-year-old in here also that we also had that we blended, and we said the 3 different years on this really makes, I think, a really great bourbon. So
it's a blend
I
of...
love that nose on there.
Yeah, I was going to say, the nose is really good.
Man.
So you said it's a blend of a 10, a 13, and a 15?
That is
But
a
mostly
candle.
15.
yeah.
Yep.
The color's great, and it's got...
Give me that nose and a candle. That's awesome. I love that.
I love that you love candles.
First whiskey of the day. It was a shock. My body should be used to this by now, but it's like,
You sweat out whiskey. What are you
I
talking
know.
about?
It's like, I haven't had you in 6 hours. Like, what are you putting back in my body?
It's only been 6 hours?
It's not the first time you said that today either.
I've been drinking a lot of Old Carter here recently.
Oh, wow.
We love that about you.
Only the good stuff. I'm ruined.
You can tell we like it because we're all quiet while we're
I know.
drinking it.
It is super tasty.
That note, it's like maybe of like heavy caramel on the nose, like right away.
Yeah.
Just like
This
hits
is-
you in the face.
I think it's got a good, rich, dark flavor to it.
Yeah.
a lot of
and
it's a lower
nose.
proof, so you got a lot more flavor to it.
It's got some fruit to it, but I can't peg the fruit. It's kind of,
A little orange peel.
yeah, maybe like orange. I was getting like
Orange
almost like
chocolate.
a lemon or something like that. Chocolate. I got a little bit of like tobacco almost. Like
Yep.
Yeah.
That's that
Good,
little
good
age coming
tobacco.
out.
Yeah, that's aged.
Yeah.
Yeah. That little leather, but not too much leather for a a lot of
I always
15-year-olds.
wondered, how does everyone know what leather tastes like?
That
It's more the
comes
smell
from
of-
licking a saddle.
Yeah, that's Sherry. Not
Wow.
licking the mic this time,
How
but
many
licking a
bets did you
sour.
lose? How many bets did you have to lose for that?
I think mine's
How
from.
many did you have to win?
I had a leather keychain, and like it was monogrammed, so I'd always chew on
on
that.
it,
I mean,
yeah.
now that COVID's a thing,
You
I would
wouldn't
never
do-
put a
it wouldn't do that
keychain in my
anymore.
mouth. But yeah, I would chew on leather
You,
back, before there were germs.
I will
The
not lie.
germs that didn't like show up overnight.
They did kind of.
The bad ones did.
You did your
super
own
bad ones.
inoculation. It was okay.
Yeah, yeah. I
Dip
know
it in
what
some of
leather-
that and it'll be fine.
I was really slow always as far as running, so I always had to play right field in baseball. So I used to sit out there and kind of chew on
a little
the
slow.
glove. So
Yeah.
I know what leather tastes like.
Exactly. It was always on that little string that was on the
On the edge of the glove. Yeah,
Scott's that kid that's too busy eating his glove in right field to catch the ball.
they never hit to you. I mean, when Little League, it was always awful. I either pitched or I had to play literally right field because I was so slow. It was just bad. I was the fat kid in the corner.
Kind of like Matt now.
Wow. Absolutely.
Matt, did you not play baseball? You didn't chew on.
I did play baseball.
You didn't chew on leather.
I did play baseball.
He didn't play it well. He just played.
Yeah,
it.
he didn't
Play
get to
baseball.
actually hold the glove or anything.
I didn't make it out to the field.
I mean, look at Matt. He doesn't play any sport well.
Oh, thanks, Scott. That's the nicest thing he said today.
But isn't drinking whiskey a sport?
If it was, Matt would be an Olympian. He'd be the Usain Bolt of the American drinking game.
Fantastic. Yeah. I get T-shirts made and everything.
That's right. So, I think this is fantastic. I'm super excited about this one when it hits the street. So, how many bottles were in this batch?
This actually was a larger batch
Yeah.
for us. This was $24.97.
And the proof is 106.5 on this one.
Mm-hmm.
106.5.
Yes.
And it doesn't drink like that at all. I mean,
That's where you get all that flavor from, though.
I know. I mean, it drinks like actually probably less than 90 proof. I mean, it's really smooth. I mean, it's got a great taste, and I was surprised with the amount of, I guess, viscosity that was sitting on the inside of the glass, and
That's
Put
everything
$1
else.
in the jar. You
I
couldn't
know.
go one episode without saying viscosity.
That's my favorite word.
But it really hangs to the glass. I mean, is that what you want me to say, Matt, from now on? That it hangs
No,
to
I
the
just want you
glass?
to put $1 in the jar like you said you would.
Buttery.
Buttery.
thick. Thick is good
This
too.
is not
Big
even-
and thick.
Everyone
and
likes
thick.
it big and thick.
Everybody likes it big and thick. That's right.
Thick.
It's the best way to go.
There we go. That's what I'll start saying. And this bourbon is just big and thick. Is
Please
that better
describe
for
it
you?
as that. Please absolutely describe it as
I
that.
think it's a kind of a tongue coater.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
We're-
It coats the whole inside of your mouth, really.
Yeah.
I mean, it really does. It's got a lot of flavor and a lot of, robustness to it.
That's
I'm
what
glad you like that because that's what we intend to do.
that's what we shoot for every time with all the spirits that we do is to make sure it's got that
Big and
richness,
thick
that
to it.
thickness,
Yeah, that went down way too
a
smoothly.
little bit of sweetness.
My
at
God,
the
you
end
already
always.
downed it.
Yes, I told you. I was
Dude, it's a taster.
Well, when it's the first whiskey of the day,
It's not the first whiskey of the day.
and it's sadly not for me either. As soon as I got home today, I cracked open a bottle.
I work from home.
Yeah, so it was a very rough day in the banking industry today. So, all right. So number 2,
Sherry's gonna. Why don't you guys?
she's going to handle this one.
Okay, so this one is this is the new Kentucky whiskey.
The new
So this
Kentucky
is straight
whiskey.
Kentucky whiskey, a blend of 8 barrels, 7+ years, and I'm not going to tell you anything till you taste it.
Okay, let me cleanse the palate with the seltzer and.
Because it's always, as soon as we say something, we'll influence you. This is the way it works.
You know,
Always how it goes.
It's exactly how it goes.
We were talking about that on the way up here. Where when someone gives you like
Matt
tasting
Mike.
notes and flavor profiles, thank you. I don't know who Mike is, but you need to stop talking about him. When someone gives you flavor profiles and tasting notes about it, and you see it online, your first reaction is always going to be like, "Oh my God, it totally tastes like A, B, and C."
Right.
Yeah.
Or it could limit it because if it doesn't, then you're like, why doesn't it taste like this? They missed the mark.
Right, but I've said this before. Everybody has a totally different palate. You're going to pick up different notes. You're going to pick up different
Memory.
flavor profiles. Yeah, you really only can draw from your experience.
Mm-hmm.
So
This is this is going to sound weird, but it has like a lemon pie kind of
I
nose
ju-
to it.
I'll be quiet.
No, it's
I was
fine.
going to say something, but I'm going to
No,
wait.
say it.
I said I
Say
was going
it.
to wait. I'm not.
We'll wait till
We already
you guys-
drank it. It's
Yeah.
good.
You know
Wow.
what it kind of smells like? And I've drank this batch a lot, and this is the first time I've gotten
Yeah, I
this.
know your numbers
It's
are a
like
little
birthday
slurred.
cake once you blow out the candles and that instant you smell that smoky
Little bit of smoke.
but that sweet
Sugary.
Yeah, it's like a birthday party.
Baked goods.
Like you had
Yes.
a kid, a lot of candles will burn and you blow them
Lemon
out. And it's like
I I like
That's really pretty.
Almost-
I liked lemon cake. I thought that was valid.
I kind of get.
Valid. Everything is valid.
Thank
Matt.
you.
There is a zest.
This is
a
why we
lemon
like you
zest.
guys.
Maybe it was a lemon birthday cake.
That's what it tastes. That's really what it tastes like. I really get that.
There we
like
go.
pound cake or like a
but
pound cake with like maybe like a little bit of lemon like kind of sprayed over top of it, or,
And that's an odd flavor.
or
That's not
macerated.
like that's not like a real common flavor that you get right off the bat from most batches that you drink.
But I was just
That
eating
is a
chili cheese
crazy
Fritos,
nose.
so my palate could be
That's really
off a little bit.
yeah. You had at least it wasn't flaming hot Cheetos.
I would say heightened. Let's call it heightened.
Heightened. Well, yeah, we just need some of those.
Have you ever had
Funyuns.
Tastefully Simple's pound cake?
Yes. I
Oh,
love
yeah.
That's what this reminds me of. Like this,
I
the
do get
smell
I
of
do
it.
get a little bit of that.
Because
Always,
it's
Yeah.
al- 'cause
always one of my favorites. I just like pound cake.
Yeah. It's just got that kind of like, because theirs has almost like a little citrus taste to it, and like
yeah,
that pound
it
cake
does.
smell.
Yeah, it comes in that little tin foil container.
Tell me how you really feel.
You pull out that top, you just warm it up a little bit. You
Right.
don't have to if you don't want to.
Do
Yeah.
you like it warm?
I do actually. It can be good cold though too.
I like it cold.
Is
I like
it?
pound cake
Is it
cold.
good
It's,
cold?
Yeah.
it's
I
not
don't- I
revenge.
don't
It's
think
not best served cold.
It's not a cold thing.
I like it room temperature.
This one's too.
I
hot.
don't
This
understand
one's too
people that
cold.
put their bourbon in the freezer. Like,
Oh, no.
I know people that do that, and I'm
Yeah,
like, why
if it's
would
not
you do
good.
that?
Oh, yeah.
Because if it's not good, it's easy to shoot.
Yeah,
I-
room temperature is
Oh.
good.
Seriously.
for really tasting.
Yeah. No, I'm
Very simple answers
Yeah.
from the corner.
Evidently, Matt buys a
Yeah.
lot of bad bourbon that he has to put in the freezer so he
Well,
can
no,
shoot
like-
it really quickly.
No, seriously, that's what it was.
It works that way
It
though.
does work that way.
Or if you make a lot of bourbon cocktails,
Yeah.
like you're gonna shake it. You might.
You're gonna have
might
some
as
ice on it
yeah,
anyway,
might as well
but
start it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
The ice won't melt that
I was
way.
gonna say, yeah.
I'm gonna at least buy that one. Okay. I'm picking up what you're putting down, Jess Ann.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Break
So
it
I
up,
had a
break it
really
up.
crazy when we just started on this one. I picked it up and I got honeysuckle before I swirled the glass.
A lot of people say like
Like
that
ton-
clover of honeysuckle. Those little things you pull
Those
out.
little clover buds. We were
Yeah,
talking about that the
yeah,
other day.
We were. That's somebody
Yeah,
else
so I'm
did,
back
so-
to that.
It's
Like
very
it.
floral for sure. I can pick that up.
But once I swirled it, I got much more spice and more of that cakey thing. But man, when I just first lifted it without
Yeah.
moving it
When
around,
it sat there for a minute,
And again, I
very
usually,
delicate.
yeah.
I usually go for that that thickness and the sweetness at the end. So I think it's got
And-
that really nice sweet
and-
finish.
Yeah.
On a side note, it's amazing how vastly different those two are.
Oh, absolutely.
God,
Like,
day and night.
They're day and night, absolutely.
So do you know between the blends that you did roughly what the mash bill would be on the combination of this?
You know what? This is terrible. We bought these barrels years ago, and I need to look that up.
Okay.
Like tomorrow.
Because I'm kind of really curious how that's all going to fit in there. Because it's almost like it's a heavier rye.
Yeah,
because you get a
I
little
need
bit
to
more of those
check.
florals.
Yeah.
I
We
need
know-
it, yeah, it could
It
be
doesn't seem.
We know what the bourbon mash bill is.
right.
But I get like almost like a spearmint, not like your typical mint that you get from like a normal some of the bitter ryes, but this has got like almost like a spearmint
You
flavor.
get mint from that? I don't get any mint.
You don't get any mint from this?
No.
Okay, I just get it.
No, that's
It's on the.
that's
I-
interesting.
It's on the inside part of my upper lip. Like it's almost like a
I don't
bite.
care where it is in your mouth.
It's almost like when you put a fresh piece of spearmint gum in your mouth and how it kind of tingles the front tip of your lips or something. I kind of get that flavor from it, and maybe I'm off. I mean,
No.
No,
There
well,
you go. Everybody gets something
now
different.
everyone, now everyone's gonna listen to that. Oh yeah, it's totally mint.
this is juicy fruit gum with mint. No,
It's
no,
Miss
no,
Big
no.
League Chew.
But what I do love the finish on it.
Yes, no, absolutely. The finish is fantastic.
and they
Like super
both-
spicy and
This one goes on for a really long time for me. The bourbon also has a long finish, but I think this even has a little longer finish.
yeah. And
This
this
is
is
interesting.
117.5.
But it's not that hard finish. Like sometimes you get one that it kind of you can feel it burn all the way down into your chest. This has just got a really nice finish. It goes all the way back through the full part of your mouth and then on the back of your tongue.
yeah.
Yeah, and this is 117.5.
So that's also interesting because you still get just as much flavor out of that second one as you do the first one.
Yeah.
And the lower proofs you expect to get more of a flavor profile from it.
Yeah, I feel that the 106.5 is bigger and kind of that.
I think it's a heavier flavor. Like it's a darker flavor.
And
than
then
this
we-
is light.
what we do too sometimes is the bigger they are, like 130, 9.6, we'll make those drink like they're like
Oh my
110.
goodness. I had that one the
so
other day.
they're all balanced is
Don't
what we're
ruin
really
it
shooting
for us.
for. If we can shoot for a real balanced flavor profile, so everything is somewhat smooth and tasty and yummy. That's kind of what we're shooting
Is
for.
that 139? Is that one of the new single barrels that are being released? Or is
Actually,
that
it's
from-
the next thing we're
The
tasting.
next thing we're
Jessica.
tasting.
Is that here?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
That's why I told you not to ruin it for
So
us.
this
I'm
one is
so
a blend of
excited.
Kentucky whiskeys or maybe bourbons. And then what's the age on this one?
On the
other than
Kentucky,
blends, yes.
On the Kentucky Straight, it's 7+ years, and it's all the same mash bill,
Yep.
and it's all.
Everything we've done has always been straight, so the mash bill has always been the same.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
That's good. Good to know.
I think every
Miss Jess,
door in
what do
this
you-
room just opened at the same time.
I know
and
literally
closed.
every door in the the whole waiting room here. So Jess Ann, what do you think on this one?
This is still the second one, right?
Yeah, still the second one?
Yeah.
Every time I have this one, it changes. It really, really does.
Because I know you said you'd had it before.
This
so
is
that's
like probably my fourth,
the fourth time you had
fifth
it?
time that I've sat down for a tasting. of
Today?
my big rubies.
Today?
This week. Last week.
Today.
I feel so unimportant. You've been around
No.
5 times. Matt's hanging out with
We
him
live like
yesterday.
a block
Jeez.
from each other.
Yeah.
Scott, we
We-
still have
we-
time. We have a lot
I'm
of time.
just going to start
to
calling
hang
you
out.
like
Yeah.
weekly. And Mark, can I come over and just
I-
have some booze with
He'll
you?
say
I had to
yes.
work for those tastings.
It's hard to say no.
It is. We met for a lunch meeting at 11, and then I left at 11 p.m. It was a long
And
time.
it was a great lunch.
It was a
It was a
great
fantastic lunch.
24-hour, 12-hour lunch.
12 hours of lunch.
That was
Must
pretty
have been some
awesome.
really
I
good
crashed,
food.
No, I crashed someone else's tasting. That's what happened. I was like, I'll just come along. Let's
There
go.
you go. Absolutely.
I'm
That
already
did
here.
happen.
I would
did.
definitely do that. I'm definitely that guy. I would crash somebody else's tasting.
Yes,
for
you
sure.
are 100% that guy.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we met at that barrel pick we crashed.
Yeah, absolutely.
See? I'm
we
crashing all the
both
time.
we crashed a barrel pick.
I'm like, y'all got whiskey?
Which
Knock,
barrel
knock.
pick was that?
So,
Prohibition for a group in Indiana.
no, it was the
JK.
Northern Kentucky Cincy Juice Club did a pick at New Lou
Yes.
there with Chase and them. And I literally, he calls me and says, "Hey, we're doing a tasting today. Do you want to come join us?" And I'm like, "Who are you doing a tasting with?" I'm like, "Never mind. It doesn't matter. I'm just
I'm
coming."
coming.
I'm-
Yeah, that's. I'd be there
Wait,
too.
your first answer wasn't yes. It was you want more information.
Well, you didn't want to be rude, but then I was like, "Never mind. They're going to give me free booze. Why am I not just walking out the door now?" And that's what I did. So
I'm ready for you guys to try this next one. Are
All
we ready to
right,
move on
let's
to that
do it.
one? Oh my
She's
gosh, you're
all
not
right.
even ready. No one's ready.
I'm still enjoying the second one.
I can't even go back because I've drank everything. I'm kind of like Scott over there on the
Hey,
first one.
we can
I've got
pour
some,
you
I'll share.
more.
Yeah, I guess so. We have a bottle.
Or 7.
Or 698.
No,
I think that's what I read.
That's the proof.
Oh. 69.8.
is the
Gotcha.
proof.
All right. Listen, I don't. My glasses.
Yeah, they won't help
It's
you
a
either
long
way.
ways away from where you're
Well,
sitting
it's
at.
not only
Well,
that, Mark.
Very
but
small print.
You bring up a good point though. This Kentucky Straight, we did what?
1,854 bottles.
Wow, that's a high yield from that.
Yeah. But I did have a very good vision for quite some time with my glasses, but for some strange reason, I think my prescription's off because I can't see the leaves on the trees.
No, Scott,
or-
your prescription's not off. You just drank.
You think I drank myself? Did I have too much moonshine that one night? Is that what happened?
Yeah.
Made myself go blind a little bit.
I swear I was perfect vision beforehand, and now it's just gone. I don't know what happened, guys. Yeah, that's what happened.
So I
Well,
Jessica's
Moving
waiting
on.
patiently.
I'm like,
All right. So the single barrel. Let's walk through this one.
it's not a single barrel. It's a small batch.
Small batch. Sorry.
We got 13 years on this. It says on the label because that's the youngest thing we have in here, but most of it's 15 years old, maybe even a little older at this point.
Yeah. So this is the American whiskey.
American
Yeah.
whiskey.
This is our
This
big
is the-
dog.
Yeah, it is.
Can you pass the bottle down here, Matt? I want to take a peek at it.
Nope.
Here you go, Scott.
Gonna keep that.
I'll
for
do
myself.
it for you.
I'm gonna keep that one for myself.
You're so selfish, Matt. I don't understand it. So is this your actual signature back here, Sherry?
No.
No.
No, that's a font.
Just
What
got a
about
font. Okay.
Mhm.
We didn't want anybody to forge our
We talked
signature.
about making up stories before this.
This
She's
is
like,
true.
yes, totally. I do every bottle by hand.
No.
On the back.
Well,
on
no,
the
it's on the back.
The
It's-
writing is the bottle counts and whatnot, and Jess came and helped me this time because I was in trouble because I had 2 days to write 7,000 labels.
Literally.
I
didn't take it like that serious. I was like, yeah, I'd love to come help write labels. And I'm like, what the actual? It was a lot of work.
It is a lot of work,
It was
isn't
a
it?
lot of work.
And up
I
to
even
this-
made Mark do us some.
And up to this point, Sherry's done almost
And
every
yeah.
label.
And I knew if Sherry
herself.
asked for help on anything, like she was in trouble because like Sherry
She's
is like, dude,
never-
I don't need help. You do not come in this space. Like we will love you from this other space.
You don't mess with the artist, right? You know,
right.
You got to get in there and get every
Right.
I dotted and T crossed.
It was
and
so much fun. I
make
had
it
so
look
much
beautiful.
fun. I would do it again. I'm signing up.
I still just
Thank
love
you.
this bottle so much. Sherry, you did an amazing job with this thing.
Thank you.
She is a true artist.
She absolutely is. She's a keeper, right?
Yes, absolutely.
He has to say that right
No, I don't.
After this weekend, I'm glad I'm still a keeper.
All right, you want
I
to walk
love
us
her.
through the tasting notes on this or flavors or
I
actually
love
don't
you,
even do that.
Mark
You can just tell us
Carter.
what's going on. There we go.
So, this is our fourth batch of American whiskey, and when we first did the first batch, we fell in love with this spirit, and it just has everything that we're looking for. It's got this wonderful finish. It's so yummy. And people have loved the proof on it. They've all been at least 130, to 4 to 139.6, and but it drinks like 110.
I think our first one was 134.8.
Yeah,
and they've
that's
been
the lowest one. Yeah.
I mean, we're literally 0.4 from hazmat. I love that.
That's what I was like. It's almost a vodka.
I was so happy it didn't come in at
But
140.
not.
It just seemed hot if it said 140. But 139.6 doesn't seem hot at
It's
all.
much
to me.
more, much more.
Did it? Was it at
But
140 when you
anytime
started?
you see 140,
Oh, no,
though, it
we
just
never
gets you
put
all
it.
excited when you're like me. You like barrel strength. So
Well, that's what we do. Everything we've ever done is barrel strength. We've never put one drop of water on anything we've done. And we just love, because we feel that every time you put water in something, you just kind of water down the real true flavor of that barrel.
We like to let the consumer do their own proofing if they want to put ice or water or whatever they want to do.
that's why I love you so much. Man, this now, Matt, you were talking about the nose on number one. And now, to me, this is it's just the nose on this thing's great.
It's so soft.
So I agree with Jess on this one. There's a real softness and easiness. It doesn't burn your nose for it being almost 70% alcohol. So it's awesome.
There's no burn.
No, but
No.
I'll tell you what I do really like the nose on the first one.
So you liked a little bit more of a burn on the nose.
No, there's no burn on. There's no burn on that one. Feel the burn.
Well,
No, listen.
I think there's more of a.
Are we working out?
Number
I think
one
there's
now
more of
smells
a-
like cherry cordials, like those chocolate cherry cordials.
It's more like.
That was very specific.
I get
There's
that.
more, I get more wood on actually one.
More wood?
Yeah, this one has that.
Mark
Maybe
did
it's the
say you
box.
were a wood
It is
fan.
like those plastic ones. Maybe like they got some wood from the box or something. They're in, like the good.
This
I
is
love
a
cherry
very,
cordials. I'm
very
sorry,
high,
that sounds bad.
Very high corn mash bill, and so I love this. And so I get caramel corn all the time on this. I want the shirt that says, "Mark Carter loves corn."
Corn. We talked about we were being funny because there was somebody said corn hub one time.
Corn hub.
Yeah.
I love that so much.
What's a corn hub?
It's like a play on
It was a play on
Pornhub.
words for Pornhub.
Don't.
Oh.
Oh.
One
Did
of
you
the
really-
naughty-
did you really
have to
naughty
explain
sides.
that?
So
Oh my God, bless
Did you-
your
did you
soul.
when he
really
said he
have to-
loved corn, so I was like,
Plus, whose soul? His or hers?
They're so innocent.
yeah.
Yes, we are.
Sherry's like, what do you mean by corn hub?
They don't. They said that they don't
don't-
read a lot of
I don't-
media
I
and
think
like
she
follow a lot
knows.
of trends and
I still think she knows.
they're in their
Bless
own
you.
world. of
Sherry said, I set
goodness.
my own trends.
I am the
Thank
trend.
you.
She is.
I just. We just
But
do our thing.
You know what I really like about the American whiskey at this time is that actually there's also a huge wood influence on this. So you
And
get
notice
this,
I'm not spitting.
yeah, you've got this wonderful,
This
you know,
viscosity.
oh, you get actually this toasted oak or actually charred oak a little bit, which I love.
Actually, yes, you do. All right.
Instead of just one dimensional, you know, it's got a lot going on for when you start talking at 139.
Yeah,
I
you can
think
really-
it's amazing stuff.
Yeah, you can really pull the tannins from the oak on this. It's but it's very, very, very good, and it's not that weird woody,
No.
flavor that you get on some things. Some things that just too much wood, and this is not the same thing. You're pulling, I guess, the really, really good oils that come out of that oak.
Yeah.
In this one,
I think that goes to buttery viscosity.
You put $1 in the jar as well.
well, I'm not going to say the word, but
No, go ahead. No, go ahead. No, do it.
No,
Do it.
No,
Chicken
no. I
shit.
was going to say the word that Toby always said that I used to say all the time, but I've never actually said it because he's never produced me saying the word.
What word is that?
I'll say
What
it
is
off
the
air.
word? No, what is the word? We have to know the word.
I'm not going to say it because then he'll find it on air and he'll be like, "Oh, see right here it was." I'm not letting Toby win.
No, in the middle of his day trading, he can listen to our podcast and hear you say that. That way, I know that he listened to our podcast if he says you said this word.
Moist.
Nope, not doing it.
No, do it.
No,
Do it.
no,
Do it.
no.
Moving on.
Moving on.
I like Jessica. as
Jessica, you're the
gatekeeper.
referee, I
Thank
guess,
you.
huh?
I'm
She is sitting in the
At
middle.
this point.
Yes. Back to the Carters.
I want to know what the word is.
Any more questions?
Your mom.
Boys.
God, again?
I can't even. We're going to be right back after this short.
There's no commercial
After
break.
this short timeout. Hello.
We're both already in the corner.
Okay, for real though.
Do you enjoy drinking bourbon? If you do, at night, you should try Old Carter Bourbon and Whiskey. Made of the finest American whiskeys that you can find.
That was so
He just
good.
did an infomercial for you guys. You didn't
Thank
have to
you,
pay
Scott.
for it either.
That was
I like that. Thank you
super
very much.
awesome.
I'm pretty sure I could have done better had I had a little bit more time to think.
Hey, have another drink of the 130 proof, 139.6 proof, and then try it again.
Try talking into the mic. We'll do a lot better.
Oh, you're so
When are these
funny.
going to be released? Did we already say this?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jessica.
And where?
So, so we are actually in the process of getting them out to the distributors right now.
What states?
So they are released in Kentucky, California, and the DC area.
And Kentucky's going to get them first, I
That
think.
damn straight.
'Cause we're right here.
there.
Who do y'all
Yeah.
distribute through? I might have asked that the last time, but I don't remember.
No problem. We're with Heidelberg here in
Heidelberg?
Kentucky.
Good deal, yeah.
hmm Prestige LeDroit up in DC,
Yeah.
and with Wine Warehouse in California.
California.
Will you broaden those states out a
Well,
little bit?
We would love to. It's really hard. It's a lot of work, and there's only two of us, and so we'd love to have a few more states that we could get our product to.
Why did you pick DC? Because I know California, you're there. Obviously,
once in
Kentucky.
a while things just happen, and somebody calls you, and,
And
you know,
DC's it.
Yeah, and it actually
I'm not
worked
mad
out.
about that.
It's really actually worked out really well, because we feel like we have the East Coast or kind of Mid-Atlantic covered. We have the middle of America covered, and we have our home base, which is also has been California for a long time. So
Dream team.
We would like to expand as soon as we can, but it's slow.
What's the next state?
We don't know yet.
Indiana.
We don't know.
No one
Come on,
cares
I
about
want to
that.
shut up. Jeez. You
Well,
know
I
how
like-
hard it is to get good bourbon in Indiana?
Do like North Dakota, something like really just like.
no,
Piedmont,
I don't
North
know if that
Dakota.
will actually happen. I love.
We love
North
all the
Dakota,
states.
but I
We
love
love all the states. Very
But
political.
All of them equally.
It'd be nice to find 3 states that would work for people close by to come over to those states too. That would work, and maybe up, somewhere in Chicago, somewhere down towards Texas, New Orleans or something like that.
New Orleans, yes.
Yeah.
Because then sure you'll like need a traveling partner, and I'll be like, oh, I'm free. Whenever you need, I'm free. I have no schedule. Let's
Great.
go.
I'm glad you have no schedule, Jess. Thanks for that. So, back to the Carter. Can you tell us a little bit about the building you guys have going in downtown and what's going on with that?
Yeah.
I'm gonna let Sherri take this one.
Okay. Well, we purchased the building, how long ago? A year?
It's about a year and a half ago now.
Okay, man, time flies. So we bought this building that needed a lot of work, and we have been very fortunate to have Justin's House of Bourbon move in on the corner unit. It's right downtown Louisville, and it's a very large building.
On First and Market.
First and Market Streets, next to the big White Castle.
They look for the White Castle.
Exactly.
There used to be a dance club that I would have like crashed at your like place had just COVID not happened. But anyway.
I don't think that stopped you.
Yeah, Barbarella, White Castle,
Oh,
the
yeah,
Carters.
yeah,
Yeah.
Remember?
Yeah.
Was that your triangle right
That's
there?
my triangle. That's my people. Barbarella, White Castle, Carters.
Oh, I used to go to that White Castle all the time as a kid.
It's a good one.
It's a good one.
It's the biggest one in Kentucky, or maybe in America.
Is it really? I
Fun
didn't know
facts.
that.
Yeah.
My grandfather used to work the farmer's market back when I was a kid, and that used to be always the White Castle we stopped at. So
Well, it needs to be your new White Castle that you stop at again.
I'm going to get White Castle when I leave. So people come to you when? When will people like, could you
So-
just walk in? Can you buy things? Is it a shop? What are you doing?
All right, so all of those are good questions, and we've been working really hard. Well, Mark's been working really hard all summer on getting the space that's actually going to be the home of Old Carter finished, and we've got a little room up front, which we call the front room. Then we got a room in the back called the back room.
Wow, how creative.
Yeah, we're real original.
And in the
Who's
basement.
Who's the name guy?
I know. So the exciting part is we're going to be able to bottle there. So we'll be able to do some little
That's exciting.
projects.
That is exciting.
That is exciting.
Yeah.
So we'll be able to actually get some bottling done when we want to get it done and take care of stuff there. And then the front room will be open. Right now, we're trying to figure it out because we do have to eventually go back to California.
Bum, bum, bum.
And so we're not sure if we're going to be able to be open if we're not here. But we're trying to figure that out.
So did you call the upstairs the upstairs?
No, actually, I have my art studio up there, so now it's a studio.
Man, I lost that one.
And next door is
Sorry.
next door is the bar. So
So no, next door is the bike shop.
We got a bike
That's
shop.
and the bar.
Yep.
Yeah,
And the
bar
bar.
and bike
Not
shop.
ours.
Justin's.
The bike shop, they also do deliveries out of that bike shop, I think, if I remember correctly.
Mm-hmm.
They had a little bike delivery service there. I remember
Yeah.
when I used to work at 4th and Muhammad Ali, they
Yep.
used to bring in packages to us.
Yep, it started as a courier service.
Yeah.
Yep.
Exactly.
Do they bring food? Because I live a block from here.
They don't do the courier
go to White
anymore.
Castle.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, just go to Grubhub or just call Jimmy John's. They bike over to your house.
Oh, there you go.
I just
Make
gave them a free
that
commercial.
face
Damn
one
it.
more time.
So, well, I'll tell you what, I'm really enjoying this.
Now
This
it's
third
all-
one. I'm
It's
trying
all
to
caramely now.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of caramel. I could get like a. Trying to think exactly what the exchange between you and Matt distracted me.
Sorry.
Happens sometimes.
Like
we
look like
we
an
have a-
airport
we have a
attendant, you know, with the little light flashing people
I
to
got
come
you.
in.
We're landing now.
Landing
We're
strip.
Yep, coming in.
The arm motion, everything going out there. But yeah, I really am just floored at the amount of those sugar flavors that you're talking about. I almost get like a creme brulee on this one as well.
Absolutely.
I think you do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
spot on.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is super
It only
tasty.
took you to the third one to get it right.
Listen, you know, I'm tired, man. I'm tired. I had to work a whole long today.
This might wake you up.
It might. My wife will be like, "What is wrong with you?" Like,
Well, you see what had happened was.
what had happened was I've been drinking with the Carters.
Except for this is 139 proof bourbon. It's not going to sound like that.
Yeah, probably not.
You see what had happened was I don't know. It's great. Everything's great.
I think you were confused, Matt. Man, that is so good.
Super confused. Thanks.
You know, I might go out on a limb on this one, but I think this might be my favorite, actually American whiskey that we've made.
Wow.
I was about to ask that.
He's getting choked up,
of-
so he really means it.
Yeah.
I know his choked up look.
Well, I was about to honestly ask that. So, of all the babies that you all have created so far, I mean, which ones are your favorite? So, and Mark just already said, "Hey, I think this might be my favorite American whiskey." So,
We hopefully we keep improving. We're always trying
Right.
to get better at what we do. And so I think on this one, I think we
They're all so different, though. And this actually came up. There was somewhere on social that people were asking, do you prefer something that has a consistent profile to it, or do you prefer something that's small batch and it's going to be different every time and you don't know what's going to happen? And clearly, we're in that camp. I mean, that's what we do. And so we never make the same thing twice because we can't. And I love that.
Right.
For me, that is what the creativity is about, in this industry. It's like creating art or music or something that's just going to be once. So
Yep.
you better do it right.
That's right.
So, piggybacking on Scott's question, what's your favorite straight bourbon that you all? What batch is your
Oh my gosh,
favorite?
they're so different.
They're all so different.
They're so different. So I love different things about the different batches.
But they're, it's
You know,
like
the
pick
most-
a favorite kid.
Well,
You can't.
the most interesting thing was when we turned out batch 4 and batch 5 of the bourbon this year. We loved both of them, but they're the exact same mash bill, distillery, and everything else, but they only are different barrels, truly.
Well, we didn't plan on making 5.
Yeah.
But when we tasted those samples and through the blend together the first time, it was just like, oh my God, like it's time.
Oh, this is
So-
great.
Because me and Matt, we almost are almost always opposite. Because I like high rye, he likes high corn or wheat.
That's what I love about whiskey.
So it's one of those funny things.
And
that,
he likes 4 and I like 5.
Yep.
Yep.
And they're both great.
Oh,
Yeah,
they're
And-
both fantastic products.
And Sherry, and actually, we always blend all the bourbons and all the American whiskeys together. The only thing that we still blend the ryes together, but usually she has what she likes in a rye, and then what I like in a rye. So those usually are this is my favorite and this is her pick. So we always have the 2 ryes that we pick. That one's hers, one's mine.
So when do you think we're going to see another rye out of you guys, like an actual just straight rye whiskey
In the spring.
in the spring
Yeah.
again? Okay. So we've already got those barrels purchased and they're sitting out there ready to go. That's what I like to hear.
Yeah.
They're patiently waiting.
Patiently waiting. So I know you said you didn't want to do wine finishes, so I'm going to piggyback back to one of the questions I asked before. Has toasted barrels or things like that something that's intrigued you guys in the past, or you
something that-
thought about?
Keeps coming up. We haven't played with anything, and we haven't really.
What I think we kind of do that in some ways, but they're not toasted. They're really, just by.
Are you getting your
double
barrels from
barrel.
the same companies, like ISC or Kelvin,
no,
or?
we use a couple different
yeah,
coopers.
about
Okay.
three different coopers.
Gotcha.
It's kind of like what we do with wine.
Yeah, we have with wine, we have about 6 different cooperages that we use, and they're all French barrels.
We like a big spice rack,
Yeah.
Scott.
And
That's
what-
okay. Hey.
and that's really what it's
That's
called.
I mean,
awesome.
that's really
That
what
is
it's
the best
about.
analogy.
That's what this is all about, right? I mean, you're trying to find the right blends and the right things, and maybe to you, Kelvin does a fantastic char 3, but if you want to get a char 1, maybe you go to Zach, or maybe you go to somebody else. I completely understand that thought process.
Yeah, the more different barrels you have and different ages of the barrels, air dried, if you can get 36 months, things like that, all of that makes such a huge difference when you're blending it when you're finishing it up. Same way with wine. Each barrel has a different flavor profile that helps make that entire our, if it's Toklon, Block B or whatever, the 5 different barrels that we use probably are in 3 different cooperages, and it'll make a huge difference instead of just having one barrel that you use.
Yeah.
Good deal. Well, hey, I want to stay and drink a little bit longer if I can, but I'm gonna cut this thing off if y'all don't mind. And if people want to reach you guys, if they want to find out about the new store, if they want to just talk to you more about Old Carter, how can they reach you?
So we are at Old Carter Whiskey Co. on Instagram. That's where I do a lot of communication. Also, we have a website, oldcarterwhiskeyco.com. Very simple. And we'd love to chat with anybody that wants to ask a question or.
Can they reach you on Facebook?
We're also on Facebook, Old
Good deal.
Carter. Yeah.
Good deal. All right.
All the things.
All
But
the
mostly
social
on
medias.
Instagram.
But
is-
all the things.
I figured you'd be a
Yeah.
big Twitter gal. That or
I'm never. tweeted.
Never tweeted.
You had the wrong first impression.
Well, no, I mean, I know she loves art. Well, Twitter started out as kind of like that photo slash, quick photo and then a couple of blurbs and then gone.
I
And
used
I
to
think
tweet all the
Instagram.
time.
I think Instagram kind of took over that medium though.
Right,
in the
that's-
main
yeah,
part.
that's what happened
So
with
that kind
me.
of think that maybe that makes sense that you're probably more on Instagram.
Yes, and actually this summer we started doing a whole bunch of more IGTVs because
Well, honey, aren't
of
we on
working on the.
TikTok or something like that?
No, we are not on TikTok.
China.
You should so
I
be
was
on
just
TikTok.
kidding.
No,
I
Mark
tried
would
to
be
get on Twitter for
amazing on
Fred
TikTok.
because Fred was always on Twitter and he had like all his biggest followings on Twitter. I'm like, Fred, no one listens to Twitter. Like you can't but they do. So I try to get back on it and I'm like, nobody cares about your thought process. I couldn't use it. So yeah, Instagram is where it's at. Sorry. Everyone's on Instagram. It's the only way at this moment, the only medium I feel like to truly connect with whiskey people.
There you go.
It's been fun to do the videos because
When you're
it's
cutting his
been
hair?
neat to it's been
funny.
interesting to that's been fun.
Sherri the vlogger.
She's a vlogger. She cuts Mark's hair. They do tastings, barrel pit, all the things. You must tune in.
We do a lot of crazy stuff.
Scott wants you to
what's the
cut his
handle?
hair also.
Old Carter
Yeah.
Whiskey Co.
Yes.
There you go.
Oak Carter Whiskey Co. So, and if you want to reach us, we're at Bourbon Barrel Talk. You can find us at bourbonbarreltalk@gmail.com if you want to email us, or you can go to www.bourbonbarreltalk.com. You can also find us on Facebook, Twitter, all the other mediums, Instagram. I think our Twitter handle is Bourbon Barrel T1. It's the only one I couldn't get our actual name. So if you were looking for us, do that. Also, if you're listening, hit the subscribe button so that way you automatically get our episodes. You don't have to worry about going in and downloading them yourselves. It'll get done automatically for you. So Scott Minton, Miss Jess Ann, Matt Jasnoff, and the lovely Carter family, Mark and Sherri, signing off.